Congratulations, you are getting very close to going on your Grand Canyon Youth Adventure. Here are some tips to help you be prepared when you arrive. So when you get to the river, it's sort of like packing to go on an airplane flight. You have your check-in luggage and your carry-on luggage. You might wonder what that means. Well, your check-in luggage is your dry bag. Anything that goes in your dry bag once you get to the river, you will not be able to get while you're on the boat during the day, similar to if you check something on an airplane. So things that can go in your check-in luggage, or your dry bag as we call it, are your clothes, some of your toiletries, your flashlight, things like that. Also, when you get to the river, you will have a dry bag that is called your sleep kit. Your sleep kit has a sleeping pad, dun dun dun, a tarp, and a sleeping bag. You'll notice that there is not a pillow in your sleep kit. One of the things that we recommend is you can bring a pillowcase and put your clothes in your pillowcase if you want to use that as your pillow. Notice also the size of your dry bag. Everything that you bring to go on the river needs to fit into that dry bag with a couple of rolls on it so that it can close properly and be waterproof. Going back to the airplane analogy, you have your carry-on luggage. Your carry-on luggage is something that you can access all during your flight. So on the river, that is going to be your backpack or fanny pack. We are showing a great backpack here. Some of the things that you are going to want to make sure that you have during the day would include your sunscreen, your sarong, and I'll talk about a sarong more in a minute, your sunscreen, your rain gear, if it looks like it's going to be rainy or if you have a propensity for getting cold. What's great about rain gear is that it keeps the wind off, which is actually what ends up making you more cold on the rivers of the Southwest. So if you can find rain gear that are pants like these and a jacket. Ponchos do not work well. So if you are looking for rain gear that is a poncho, that is not going to work well. So this rain jacket is a lightweight rain jacket, and it will keep you nice and toasty. Other things that you might want to have in your day pack that we don't have here would be a waterproof camera, disposable camera, and an inhaler if you have such a thing. But you can have your chapstick, anything that you really need to get to during the day. Some of the things that you would not want to put in there are things that you do not want to get wet because your day pack is going to go right onto the boat. Using a carabiner, which is a metal clip. One of the things that I like to tell people is if you go to a sporting goods store and you ask for a carabiner, they might take you to a nice big wall of fancy carabiners because they're traditionally used for climbing and they can be very expensive. You do not need a very expensive carabiner. You can get one usually for $2 to $3. Excellent. So that's basically how you arrive at the river. What I'm going to talk about now are some important things that you have with you and how you dress for the day, a typical day on the river. The most important thing on your trip is river shoes, good, solid river shoes. The ones we're showing here are Chacos. They don't have to be Chacos, but they need to have a heel strap. So flip-flops don't work too well, and also just a nice thick sole. Water socks are not a good example of river shoes. It's also important to have a good pair of hiking shoes or tennis shoes. You want something that has a good traction on the bottom, that are comfortable and worn in, and you want to have some socks that you can wear with your hiking shoes, and a lightweight pair of socks that you could wear with your river shoes in case you have a little rub spot or you're getting very sunburned on your feet. The other most important piece of equipment that you are going to have on your trip are water bottles. You want to have a minimum of 2 quarts of water. And when you arrive that morning, you're going to want to have these filled so that you are ready to start hydrating on your trip. You can see that these water bottles have these carrying straps that are duct taped to the water bottle. That makes it really nice for carrying or for attaching to the boat with a carabiner. You can bring a CamelBak, but you are going to want to have one of these type of quart water jugs to fill up your CamelBak when you're on the river. A gallon orange juice container also can work well, and it's an inexpensive water bottle. When you are going on the river, our model here is showing if it's a rainy day and you're cold, you can have on your rain gear that we talked about. But typically it's going to be pretty warm on your trip. So what you should have is a swimsuit as your base layer, and then you will have some quick dry shorts on and a nice sun shirt that the model is showing. I'm going to talk about swimsuits really quickly. The swimsuits you should bring for the ladies, you should not have any tying elements. For a couple reasons. One, you want to make sure that you are appropriate. So you don't want to be worrying about your swimsuit coming untied. The other is that a tying element when you're wearing your life jacket, and we're going to show you one of the life jackets that you would be wearing, what it's like. If you're putting on your life jacket, and you're wearing a tie swimsuit, it really sticks in your back and is uncomfortable. So you want to make sure that you don't have any tying elements. It's also important, you can wear a dark sports bra, but something that is a quick dry material. For the guys, the important thing to note is that you want to tie your swimsuit bottoms. As the model is showing, if you are wearing your life jacket and you get pulled back into the boat, we have seen it a couple of times where the shorts stay in the river and the person comes out of the river. So if you don't want to, show off your assets to your fellow passengers, you will want to tie your swimsuit. The other thing about your swimsuit as a base layer is you shouldn't really see your swimsuit very often. It is just your base layer because it dries quickly. So you want to make sure that you have your quick dry shorts on. One of the reasons for that is you don't want to be on the boat all day with just your swimsuit bottoms for the ladies, because you get this really lovely thing called boatman's butt, which is a rash which is not very comfortable. And then the long sleeve shirt that the model is showing, you can get these at any sort of thrift store. A men's dress shirt works well. And what is great about these is that they're a lightweight material that dries quickly and keeps the sun off. You will notice all of your guides will be wearing this kind of a shirt. The most that you are going to need is 2 or 3 of these because you wear them multiple days. Same with your swimsuit. The most that you're going to need are 2 or 3 at the most. So the other thing that you're going to want is a hat. There's several different kinds of hats that you could have. This is a traditional kind of fisherman's hat. What's nice about it is it has a wide brim and a chin strap, so it stays on even if it's windy. Another kind of hat, if this is not something that you would wear, would be a baseball cap. With a baseball cap, you want to make sure that it's not a cap that you'd be really sad to lose, as the wind likes to kind of take hats and throw them into the river where they are lost. Another hat you could have is a straw hat, but make sure that the straw hat is a very fine weave, and if it gets wet, it's not going to melt on you. So there's several different kinds of hats. The important thing about a hat is wear your hat. Bring a hat that you will wear. And the main reason for that is you want to protect your brain from getting fried by the sun. So that is important. Another thing that you're going to be wearing during the day are your sunglasses. Your sunglasses are important to keeping your eyes from being sunburned. There's a lot of reflection from the river on your eyes. When you have your sunglasses on, you'll notice that her glasses have what are called chums or croquis. Basically, it's an eyeglass retention system. They are very important because if a wave comes over the boat and hits you in the face, then your glasses don't come flying off and you've lost them. If you wear eyeglasses, you have to have these kind of chums or croquis, as they're called. While we're talking about eyewear and eye protection, if you wear contact lenses and you come on a trip, you are going to want to have an extra pair of an extra pair of contact lenses. You're also going to want to have a pair of glasses. It is no fun to walk around kind of with one eye covered because you've lost one of your contact lenses. It's also important to talk to your guides about the best place to change your contact lenses. Don't try to do that down on your tarp in the wind, and it's just not a good idea to get sand in your eyes. Not very fun. So here is what your typical thing that you would wear on the river will be.